everyone. Today I want to show you how to wire your birch board and get it ready for the art show. Essentially, we're going to have a art show. It's a square foot community art show, and you can submit it starting May 15th through the 29th. Essentially, there's only a couple things that are required for that. You'll need this 12 by 12 birch board, and American Easel makes these. They're beautiful birch boards, and they're made here locally in Salem. So it's always good to support a local business. So you'll need one of these, and these are the deep ones, as you can see. And then the other thing you're going to need to do is figure out how to wire it. And so that's why I'm here today, to show you how to do that. The reason why is it makes it easy for us to hang. Behind you, you can see our, it's called the concrete gallery, is what we're calling our gallery in the back. And this is exactly where your artwork is going to hang. So we have little picture hooks for them. And so this wiring really makes it easy for us. So like I said, there's only two things that you need to do to get ready for this show. Make it on a 12 by 12 birch board panel. And make sure that you have it ready to hang with the wiring. There is no jury, there's no fee or anything other than that. So let's get started. Let me tell you what you're going to need. You are going to need your birch panel. You are going to need your not so favorite scissors. You're also going to need these little hooks, the strap hangers. They're like also called D hooks. I like to use a drill as well. I choose my trusty Dremel, but you can use a regular drill if you'd like. And then I use also a drill with a bit that works for these strap hangers. You could use a tape measure. You don't have to measure it out to be perfect. It just needs to be even on both sides. And then a little pencil, and then your picture wire, of course. The picture wire we sell at Art Department along with the strap hangers, so you can pick those up if you don't already have those. So let's see if I can swap my camera just for fun. It might make it a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can actually do that. I don't know if I can. I haven't done this before live through Zoom on Facebook. So just bear with me a little bit about swapping the camera. I don't think I can, only host, sure. I'm just gonna keep going and then hold it up to you, I guess, so you can see it. I know on my screen, I can see this downward camera, but I don't know if you can actually see that. So the first thing you're going to need to do is figure out the top of your canvas and the bottom of your canvas, and make sure when you're drilling your holes that you know exactly what the top is. You could make a little mark just to remind yourself, a little X mark at the top, just so you can remind yourself what's the top. So once you do that, the next thing you're going to need to do is figure out about a third down. I like to do about a third, so your canvas and your birch boards hang nicely on the wall rather than popping up and sagging a little bit. So I can eyeball this or I can measure it. Today, let's just try a quick little measurement. I'm not going to measure the whole entire thing. I'm just going to measure probably down to 3 inches and call that good. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So you can see I have my little holes there. I don't know if you could see from above too, so I'm going to show you that. But then the next thing we're going to do is drill our little pilot holes. I like using the Dremel with a really small bit. The reason why is that it kind of makes sure that we're not making it too big for the little screws, because the screws that come with your D hooks or your strap hangers are usually pretty small. Also, the reason why we're doing a pilot hole is to make sure that wood doesn't split. These birch boards are pretty great. I've never really had a problem with splitting, but it just prevents that, and I'd rather be safer than sorry. So I'm going to just start drilling that right now. My favorite part is smelling the wood when it heats up. That's always a nice little pleasant scent. And then the next thing you're going to do is simply drill in your strap hangers. So these are pretty big for the size of this canvas or this birch board, but I'm just going to use them anyway. And once again, I'm going to look what is the top of this and what is the bottom. And then I am simply going to be screwing in those screws into the areas that I just put that pilot hole. This takes some dexterity, which apparently I don't have today. Maybe too much coffee. Don't drink too much coffee before doing this. I don't recommend it. It also helps to be really on top of it, right on top of it, so you can see it. Perfect. So you're going to want something like this. And I usually push these up towards the top a little bit. So you're going to want to do that on each side. So you can see behind me, we have Seth Arjona, and he has his artwork up right now. Super exciting. And then we're going to have the square foot canvas show after him. So his show is going to go towards the last week of this month. So you can come and see that anytime when we're open. All right, kind of stripped it a little bit, but it's in there and it's working. So I have my little D hooks or strap hangers. The next thing you're going to need is your picture wire. So the picture wire, you kind of have to pay attention a little bit. Probably won't matter so much with this one because a 12 by 12 is a really light birch panel. But you really want to look at when you're purchasing your picture wire, what is the weight requirement? So this one is a 12-pound weight requirement. We sell this by 25 cents a square foot, so you don't have to buy a ginormous roll of it. And this is going to be way sufficient for this. Essentially what this is and what it contains is wire. And then typically also there is a plastic coating to help it easily, not catch on things and whatnot. So this is a 12-pound, it can go, higher than that, but this is definitely going to be sufficient. So the first thing I do is feed it down through the hook and then feed it right back. So you're kind of making this little shape that's, maybe the tail's about 3.5 inches and then this long piece. So once you do that, then you're going to cross the wires coming at you like this. I don't know if you can see it there, but you're crossing them. And then you'll want to go back down through the hook again and then come back up. So you're almost making this funky little pretzel shape. Let's show it on this camera and then I'll show it here. It looks exactly like a little pretzel, except they're not twisted. Those little ends aren't twisted. So once you do that, then I usually take one side and hold it and then pull. So you could just pull both sides really tight. Perfect. Like that. And then what you're going to do is, this is kind of the nice, neat, fun part, is just to keep twisting it. So you're just going to twist it snugly so you don't have these excess little wires sticking out. And I usually, while I'm twisting, I'm pulling it down a little bit too. So just keep twisting them. The next round bit going on top of the next round bit. This is sometimes also, if you had some needle nose pliers, which I don't today, I forgot them at home, but it's also kind of nice sometimes to use that to just finish up that little last twisting bit. So the next thing we're going to do is do the other side. So we have one side already completed. What you won't want to do, let me just point that out before we move on, is here you can see I twisted just a teeny tiny bit of wire. You don't want to have a long piece of wire that is going to interfere with the hanging, because this is where you're going to hang on your hook. So just make sure that this wire is, at least 1 inch, no longer than going to your middle part of your wire, essentially. So this is a nice, kind of loose kind of piece of wire. I'm kind of just measuring and eyeballing it. If I'm going to go and move it like this through the hook, I'm probably going to just cut it right there. So let me do that right now. Perfect. So this really didn't take much wire at all. So the next thing, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. Now we're going to mimic it on the other side. So once again, you're going through, and then you have your tail that's going to be parallel with the wire. I'm going to leave a little bit of slack too for this. So your hook is going to be able to hook in that middle, but not so much slack that you're going to catch your wire going above the frame. So be careful about that. So now I did that. I moved it down. You have your tail that's parallel with the wire. We're going to twist it, and then we're going to go back through the wire and then back down. And this is the time when your pliers would be really helpful. We don't have that, but we're still going to make this work. And then I usually also put it through that little hole. Let's see. Get your little pretzel shape going. Once again, make sure that your wire is not going to be sticking out the top of your piece. And now you're just going to start twisting again. It's really easy. It's also really helpful to have, if you have helpers, get a helper to help you, and you can kind of assembly line this process, because it kind of, if you have 12 paintings, it can be kind of boring. So put on some music, get your friends. Maybe some people are drilling the holes, some people are drilling the D hooks, and then some people are wiring. Enlist your friends, it always helps, or your family members. All right, so that's it. So, it's gonna hang properly, it's gonna hang nicely on our wall, and it's ready for any show. So this is pretty standard for any gallery. I hope you learned something. I can't see the comments right now because I only see Zoom. So if you do have comments, put it here in Facebook or YouTube or whatever method you're seeing it in, and I will try to get back to you. I hope that you participate in the Square Foot Art Show. Once again, the reception is going to be June 4th, and you can turn in your 12 by 12 piece May 15th through the 29th. All right, thank you and have a great day.